Hi everyone, my name is Yevgeny Yegorov. I'm a UX UI designer, and today I'm representing the Simba team, which has been working on implementation of the personal account for legal entities, which is what we'll be talking about today. I'll show you the intermediate stages of what we've done so far. There are a few things we've done already, and a few things we're still working on. Let's talk a little about what the personal account is and what it does. So, legal entities, personal accounts, allow you to make transactions using cryptocurrencies legally and safely, as the company has all the licenses required to carry them out. This will be done by means of specially designed functions, which we will discuss today. Storing, buying, and transferring cryptocurrency will be extremely simple for any company or enterprise. We've created a clear and simple interface that takes into account best practices all over the world, user experience, and analysis. This interface allows companies to keep up with the times and integrate innovative technologies into their everyday business. Let's move on to the demonstration, and I'll give you a clear idea of how our solution will help you as a business solve your problems. Let's go! Let's start with our site, simba.storage. If you haven't been there yet, be sure to do so. We've changed that too. We've improved it quite a bit, made it less boring by improving the design. Once you get to the site, you can go to your personal account. This is where you log in. Our team is also working on a registration module specially designed for Simba Business. Click here to switch to Business and to create a business account. Then fill in all the required information, password, email, and partner code if you have one. After completing the registration form, you will receive further instructions by email. You can click on the link in the email and continue the process of confirming your account. Once email confirmation is done and you can prove that you own this account, you'll have preliminary access to your personal account. Let's talk about each module in a little more detail. When you first come to our service, you need to go through the verification process, which will confirm that you are a company. We won't stay too long on the verification itself, but once it's done, you'll have full access to your personal account with all its modules. Let's take a closer look at what we have here. Our interface consists of these parts. We will start with the accounts. Accounts can be in different cryptocurrencies. We can see BTC, Simba, ETH, BNB, BUSD, USDT, USDR, and Simba Gold. Here, users can carry out the following operations: purchase cryptocurrency, withdraw cryptocurrency, and add funds to cryptocurrency accounts. It'll also be possible to purchase NFTs, and we're planning to allow users to issue invoices, including crypto invoices. Users who have large numbers of transactions may have issues understanding what's happening in their account. We thought that it would be convenient to have the events log on the first screen so that users can visualize what has happened with their requests, which requests are where, what statuses they have. This is particularly useful if several people at once are working in one account. Example, managers, accountants, etc. It's very helpful if you can see the status for each request. Now, let's turn to history. This shows what's happening with accounts, where money is going, and how much. For example, one request might show that a Bitcoin purchase has been made and a certain amount of money has been added to your crypto account. Here, we can go to the history block. I'll tell you a little more about it in a moment. Here, we've got exchange rates shown as a ticker tape. Let's look at limits. Our users can have limits for various operations. So as to not constantly have to provide documents confirming income. It would be more convenient to set a certain limit for crypto operations and a limit for fiat operations. And one of the crypto limits will be given after verification. And for the second limit, for fiat operations, i.e., you want to buy cryptocurrency for fiat or sell cryptocurrency for fiat, you'll need to confirm your company's income. So in order to avoid doing this, you can upload the document once for a certain period. So you don't have to spend too much time getting documents together and uploading them here. Here are such modules. Now I will probably show more specifically how each of them works. The upper parts we see here are the tabs: Main, Buy, Sell, Withdraw, Add Funds, and NFT Gold. The second one's missing there. We'll delete that later. Each tab has a nice, clear image that shows what the tab is about, as well as a heading and some information about why doing it in our system is secure, legal, and safe. And of course, you can see a history of requests, where you can see what's happened with your cryptocurrency purchases, what requests you have, their status. It's all shown visually. Here you can see your accounts, so that if you say you want to make a new request, you can immediately see what account you want to make the request from. And if we return to the requests, we can see that this request is for buying Bitcoins. And it's currently in process, so your Bitcoin account will have funds added to it soon. Let's keep going. Selling, adding, and withdrawing cryptocurrency. We currently have 4 operations that you can make. Let's look at the modules. I'll tell you a few useful things. For example, the Events Log tab. There's an events journal that shows what's happening with regards to a given request. You can track the status, see what operations have been performed, if it's moved from one status to another, which documents have been uploaded. You can see it all. And this card here may be made up of a number of attributes, with a number of parameters to help you see exactly what is happening with your requests. To do this, we've allocated a number of such operations here. Some of the operations will be initiated by our company, and some by the user. And all the operations we've placed here have been carefully considered. We've examined how we can make it easy for users to keep track of it all. Here is a separate events module where you can see exactly where things are going. That blue circle shows events that you haven't seen yet. There are some convenient options you can click on here, so you can sort things to only show operations relating to purchases, sales, withdrawals, adding funds, etc. And see what's happened with the requests relating to a specific operation. Let's say you need to attach a new document here. So, for example, you've left our interface and initiated an operation. And at some point, Simba sees that you need to attach a document. The event log will show this. And if you go into the request, you can attach the document you need. One other thing I want to mention about requests is that there may be a large number of them. We're planning to allow you to do more than just buy and sell. You'll also be able to withdraw and add funds, buy NFT gold, issue invoices. In other words, there may be many requests and a single aggregator, which allows you to keep track of things and see requests, see what status it's in, and go and look at the request in more detail. For example, maybe you need to check some documents, upload one, or see other specific things related to that operation. For example, if there's a limit, this element has a certain limit, but for another operation, there may be no limit. This means you can predict how much of your limit will be left and see how your funds in your account will move around. Here are the different statuses. Let's take a look at the transaction history. You've undoubtedly seen something similar in banking apps. You can see things that have been done in your account using our interface. You have a number of accounts, one for BTC, one for Simba, one for ETH, and so on. And you can see what's going on in a specific account. We can see here, for example, that we have $1,342,402 in total in all our accounts. For example, you see that we received this amount and withdrew $160,425. By the way, you will be able to change the currency. By default, we only have dollars. But we'll also be adding dirhams and euros. We won't dwell on that for long, but it's worth mentioning. Moving on. I want to talk about delegation, because it is, of course, quite difficult for one person to keep track of everything, especially if there are lots of transactions, or if the company has a lot of money. We're planning to allow you to add new employees, and we have a module specifically for that. At the moment, it shows that an employee has already been added, and we want to add another one. Each employee will have different rights. For example, administrators, accountants, etc. will all have different levels of access to the module. They'll get confirmation by email and will have access to the account. Depending on their level of access, they'll be able to perform various operations. Let's stay on this topic a little longer. I want to go over the module for purchasing cryptocurrencies. It's probably quite a popular one. I want to mention the analytical work we've done to identify this process. We've made a preliminary card which shows what steps are in progress at the moment. And we can see which roles are in contact with whom. This is what's called the user flow, somewhat similar to a user journey, and we can show what problems the user might come across. This map allows us to draw certain conclusions. For example, at which stages users have problems and need help. This has already allowed us to develop a certain flow, i.e., certain stages of this process. Let's talk a little more about this. It all starts with a request. A user can state the amount in fiat they want to carry out a transaction with, and what token they want to buy in this request. The request only needs a few main parameters: the amount, the currency, and the token. This is enough for now. The user can also see the limits they have on different types of transactions and the steps they need to take. As the transaction moves forward, the user will need to follow these steps. Here, I want to draw attention to the fact that in order to better express what we want the interface to do, we have special hints that help the users and guide them. This makes sure they're not left on their own at any point during the process. The interface will help them where necessary. Users can make use of the limit if they need to or choose not to. Here we can see that our client wants to buy USDT for $20,000. They send an application. Next, they send the documents they need if, for example, they don't want to use the limit. They need to attach the documents that prove their income. Now they've attached the documents and sent them on. If they want to do anything with their documents, they can, for example, see the documents they've attached, they can use it to restore the limit, download it, or delete it and attach another one. Then our service inspects the documents, after which we can see that either the documents are fine and we can move on, or whether you need to provide a new document. In this case, you can contact the support service and find out what went wrong, and also what documents are needed for the request. Moving on. If everything is fine with the documents, we sign the SPA agreement. At this stage, the client waits for the company to get this document ready for them. So, we've got the SPA agreement. We can download it, sign it, and after that, attach a signature. And then go back and set it on for verification purposes. Let's have a look at what we can do with this document. You can look at it, download it, or delete it and add a new one, in case there's something wrong with it. Let's continue. Next, they pay the transaction. At this stage, the company has already sent the bank details to which the client has to make the payment. The client pays, attaches a scan or screenshot of the payment, and then states that he or she has made the necessary payment. This document can also be downloaded or deleted, so you can attach a new one. Let's keep going. Once they've paid, it's time to coordinate the exchange rates. This is done in some cases where the exchange rates fluctuates regularly. At this stage, we wait for the client to coordinate the exchange rate. In theory, it should already be written in the SPA agreement. But we want to carry out further confirmation to ensure the client approves the exchange rate that was shown in the agreement. We coordinate the rate, and at the last stage, we issue the cryptocurrency. Naturally, we can track the whole process in the events log, which I showed earlier. Here, the client can see what's happened with the request, and if anything has changed, the user will be able to see it on the main screen. Once the request has been completed successfully, they'll be able to see the funds that have gone into their wallet. For example, if we look at request 210, we can see that they've purchased a certain number of Bitcoins, and that's shown in the events log. I think I'll be done with it now. Our team keeps working on creating this huge global product, which we hope will give great encouragement to the adoption of cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, and other elements of today's world that are trending or that modern companies simply can't live without. We'll help your company introduce it. I hope everything was clear for you. And if there's something you don't 100% follow, then please tell us. There'll be a link in the description. Thank you once again. And a big thank you to our team. They're working on this product right now, often staying up at night and investing both their professional skills and their heart and soul into this project. Thanks once again for watching, and goodbye.